Imagine you have a problem and need to write a formal letter to resolve it. You've done your research, however there's so much information to take in that you just need some tips. Well, it just so happens that we have top 10 tips on how to write an amazing formal letter. Tip number 1. Make sure you understand your purpose and audience. The purpose is why you are writing it, and the audience is the reader. You can adapt your style and vocabulary to match both the purpose and the audience. Tip number 2. Use formal language. Formal language will show that you understand the requirements to match your purpose and audience. Make sure you use appropriate language and don't use any slang. Tip number 3. Remember the correct layout. A formal letter needs the sender's address, the recipient's address, the date, the correct greeting, and appropriate sign-off. Make sure names are spelt correctly. The heading consists of your address, but not your name and the date. Tip number 4. Make sure your sign-off matches with your greeting. This depends on whether you know the recipient or not. Ms may be used if you don't know if a woman is married or single. If a person has a title such as doctor, make sure that you use it. A good old subheading is a really nice way to summarise the topic of the letter. This can be written underneath the Dear Sir, Madame, or the name. Tip number 6. Always begin your letter by explaining what the purpose is. I am writing to is a short, simple, but effective way to do this. Tip number 7. Use paragraphs to put your letter in logical order. State your purpose in your first paragraph, then a few topic paragraphs explaining the problems in more detail, and finally a call to action paragraph. Tip number 8. Close your letter with a phrase such as, I look forward to hearing from you. Tip number 9. Proofread your work for SPAG. But what is SPAG? SPAG is short for spelling, punctuation and grammar. Make sure you use capital letters throughout your names, dates and addresses, and avoid using apostrophes which make it look too informal. Tip number 10. Finally, make sure that you print your name and sign underneath.